It's common for many older men to quietly question whether it's still normal to have sexual thoughts or to touch themselves as they age. These thoughts often come with a mix of guilt, uncertainty, or even discomfort, but they're more common than you might think. If you're over 60 and feel unsure or uneasy about this topic, know that you're far from alone. In this video, we'll talk openly and respectfully about masturbation and aging, why it matters, what to be aware of, and how it can actually benefit your overall health and emotional well-being. No judgment, just clear, honest guidance to help you feel more at ease and confident in your body. Let's begin with something that catches many older men off guard: how their bodies change after 60 and what that means for sexual function. You might have noticed that things don't work quite the same as they used to. Erections can be slower to come or less firm, and sometimes desire fades in and out without warning. This isn't failure, it's aging. It's the result of lower testosterone levels, slower blood flow, and shifts in your nervous system. The problem is, many men think these changes mean they're no longer real men, or that they've lost a part of their identity. That belief creates shame, and that shame stops them from seeking support or understanding what's really happening. I remember talking with George, a 68-year-old retired teacher from Ohio. He sat across from me and admitted he'd been avoiding intimacy, not just with his wife, but even with himself. He thought maybe something was wrong with him. Over time, I explained how normal these changes are and encouraged him to see his doctor for a checkup. They ran some hormone tests, adjusted his medication, and added gentle cardiovascular exercises to his routine. 6 months later, he came back with a quiet smile and said, "I feel like myself again, just slower, but still me." That shift in mindset helped more than anything. What often helps in situations like this is starting with understanding. Book a checkup with your primary care physician, ask to review your hormone levels, and don't be afraid to mention that you've noticed changes in your sexual function. These conversations are more common than you think. You deserve to understand what's going on inside your body without fear or shame. Even small steps toward clarity can bring peace, and peace is the first step to confidence. Another thing that often surprises people is just how beneficial masturbation can be for older men, not just emotionally, but physically. It's common for men in their 60s, 70s, even 80s to feel unsure whether it's appropriate or safe to keep engaging with their sexuality. But what many don't realize is that healthy solo activity can support prostate health, improve sleep, ease anxiety, and even help with circulation. It's not about obsession or performance. It's about staying in touch with your body in a gentle, mindful way. I worked with Raymond, a 72-year-old widower from Arizona, who told me in a hushed voice that he hadn't touched himself in over 3 years. He'd lost his wife and along with her a part of himself. He believed that sexual thoughts were now inappropriate for his age. We talked over several sessions, and I gently encouraged him to reconnect with his own needs, without guilt. He started slow, finding moments of calm where he could simply listen to his body. A few months later, he told me he was sleeping better, his mood had lifted, and, most importantly, he stopped feeling ashamed of being alive and human. One of you are. The simplest ways to begin is by creating a safe, private space and treating yourself with patience. Don't rush or expect what used to be. Let your body guide the pace. Some soft music, a warm room, and clean surroundings can make all the difference. You are still you, whole, worthy, and deserving of care. Tending to your needs, even in small ways, is an act of love, not weakness. Something else I often remind men of is that even healthy habits can become unhelpful when they're used to escape emotional pain. Masturbation, while natural and beneficial, can turn into something compulsive when it's used to avoid loneliness, boredom, or sadness. After retirement or the loss of a partner, Some older men start turning to this activity as their only source of comfort. That's not shameful, but it is a sign that something deeper needs care. Don, a 65-year-old from Tampa, came to me feeling stuck. He said most days looked the same: TV, snacks, and a daily habit he wasn't proud of. It didn't feel good anymore. It felt like something he had to do just to pass the time. Together we explored what he was missing: purpose, connection, structure. He began volunteering twice a week at a local community center and started painting, something he hadn't done since high school. Slowly he realized that what he truly craved wasn't release but meaning. The urge to escape faded when his days were full of small, joyful things. What often helps in these cases is noticing when the habit feels automatic or empty. If that happens, try gently replacing one of those moments with a walk, a phone call, or a creative activity. It doesn't need to be big, just different. Even when you're feeling alone, you're never without options. Shifting the focus from relief to fulfillment is a quiet, powerful act of healing. You're not escaping life. You're rebuilding it. There's another important thing I always bring up when talking to older men: how physical health, especially heart health, plays a role in sexual activity. As we age, the body naturally slows down, and the heart works harder to keep up with stress or exertion. That includes sexual arousal and climax. Some men get worried or even frightened when they feel shortness of breath or tightness in their chest afterward. These are signals the body sends not to stop completely, but to approach things with more awareness. I remember Harold, 75, from a small town in Oregon. He hadn't been sexually active in years, then one evening decided to see if things still worked. He rushed into it like he was 40 again and ended up feeling lightheaded and sore the next morning. He came to me not because of shame, but because he was scared. We worked on adjusting his expectations and physical approach: warm-ups, slow, breathing, and gentle pacing. In his words, "I realized I don't need fireworks, I just need peace." His experience became less about performance and more about comfort. What helps many men is simply slowing down and tuning in. Make sure you're relaxed, your breathing is steady, and your body feels ready. If you ever feel pain or pressure in your chest, stop and speak with your doctor. It's not weakness, it's wisdom. Think of your body like an old friend. It's changed, yes, but it still wants to be with you. When you listen to it and move with care, you'll find joy that's softer but just as real. One more thing I often see is how aging can affect the way men see themselves, not just in the mirror but deep inside. Many older men quietly believe that sexuality belongs only to the young, that their changing bodies have made them less attractive, less masculine, or even invisible. That belief is heavy. It's like carrying a silent grief for a part of themselves they think they've lost. But the truth is, sexuality doesn't disappear with age. It just changes its rhythm, its shape, its meaning. Frank, a 70-year-old from North Carolina, told me his grown kids would roll their eyes if the topic of intimacy came up. That made him feel silly for even thinking about it. But after reading a book on body image in older men, he started looking at himself differently. He stood in front of his mirror every morning and began saying, "I'm still here, and I'm still me." It felt awkward at first, but after a few weeks he noticed something had shifted. He wasn't hiding anymore, not from himself or his needs. One of the kindest actions you can take is to treat yourself with the same respect you'd offer a friend. Look at your body without judgment. Speak to yourself gently. Touch your skin like it still matters, because it does. Your needs are still valid. You don't need anyone's permission to feel alive. Age may wrinkle the skin, but it doesn't wrinkle the soul. You're still whole, still worthy, and always deserving of tenderness. If something in this video made you feel seen or simply gave you a bit of peace, leave a comment and let us know. You'd be surprised how many others are feeling the same way but don't have the words. And if you want more honest, respectful conversations like this, hit the subscribe button and tap the bell so you don't miss what's coming next. Remember, you're not alone in this journey. You're stronger than you think, and life doesn't end with age, it deepens. Stay kind to yourself, stay curious, and hold on to life because it's still holding on to you.